Saturday, 3:12 p.m. The candles were already melting sideways. My son Micah had just turned 12. He stood at the far end of the picnic table, small shoulders pulled tight, like he wanted to disappear inside his too big shirt. She handed him the microphone anyway. "Speak up, you coward," my wife said. Lawn chairs scraped. Plastic forks dropped. Even the sun seemed to hesitate. "No wonder you have no guts," she added, laughing without joy. Her father chimed in. He always did. "The boy has no backbone. A real disappointment." Micah's fingers trembled around the mic. I started to stand. Then he looked at me, eyes steady and dark as ink. "Dad, wait," he said softly. "I've got a special speech for Mom." He didn't raise his voice, but something in his tone hollowed the air. That's when she collapsed. Her wine glass shattered like a trigger. Her father turned pale, lips open but wordless, like a man watching a storm come for a house he forgot to board up. Sunday, 1:46 a.m. The hospital walls were the color of dishwater. I watched the rhythm of her machines, steady, indifferent. They said it was a fainting spell. Stress, maybe? Something to monitor. Micah sat in the hallway, picking at the sleeve of his hoodie, feet not touching the floor. I wanted to say something, but every word felt too heavy or too light. He just nodded, like he heard me anyway. Monday, 10:02 a.m. She was still asleep. Her father brought fresh flowers but left them in the hallway, said nothing to me. I walked into the room and found her looking out the window, pale light across her cheekbones. She didn't look at me, didn't say anything about the party, about Micah, about the things we'd both heard her say. So I said it for her. He didn't deserve that. She blinked once, slow. "He's too soft," she whispered. "He'll never survive." Then she closed her eyes, and I saw the smallest tremble in her chin, like a thread trying not to snap. Wednesday, 6:40 p.m. Micah asked if he could stay with my sister. I drove him out there, half a state away. The back seat held his backpack, his sketch pad, and a blue stuffed dog he thought I didn't know he still kept. When we got there, he didn't hug me goodbye, just looked at me and said, "It's okay, I don't mind being invisible." I wanted to tell him that's what made him powerful, that the quiet ones last longest. But I just nodded. On the drive back, I kept glancing at the rear view, expecting to see him there, silent but present. Friday, 8:17 p.m. The house was too quiet. No cartoons, no guitar strumming from the bedroom, no misplaced Legos or ketchup bottles left on the counter. Just a hum. A museum of what was. I spent the night fixing the broken hinge on the back porch door. It wasn't urgent, it wasn't even bothering me, but the rhythm of the screwdriver grounded me. The wind shifted through the trees. I thought I heard a boy's voice, Micah's maybe, carried on it. He'd told her he had a special speech, and then she fell. But she didn't fall because of what he said. She fell because of what she felt. Tuesday, 11:39 a.m. Micah sent me a photo of his sketch pad, a drawing of our family at the birthday party, but with one difference. In the picture, he stood alone at the table, surrounded by shadows. No faces, just shapes with open mouths. In the sky, a single balloon drifted upward, shaped like a wolf. He'd written one sentence beneath it, "They only hear me when I howl." I stared at that image for a long time. Then I replied, and even then, not because of the sound. Thursday, 5:23 p.m. I visited my father-in-law, sat on his porch. He didn't offer me a drink, didn't look up from his newspaper. Finally he said, "Your boy made her cry. That speech." He said nothing cruel, I cut in. He folded the paper slowly. "Words don't have to be cruel to break something." I nodded. "No. Sometimes they just tell the truth." He didn't respond, just looked away toward the fence. A dog barked in the distance. For a second, he looked old. Not just aged, eroded. Saturday, 4:04 p.m. Micah came home for the weekend. Taller already, maybe just straighter. He walked around the house like a stranger politely inspecting a museum. Then he sat on the floor of the living room and opened his sketchpad again. I didn't ask to see it, but he passed it to me anyway. There we were, the three of us at a table again. This time he was drawing, she was listening, and me, I was standing behind him, hand on his shoulder. The balloon was still there, but it wasn't floating away anymore. It was tethered. Sunday, 9:10 a.m. We had breakfast quietly. She stayed upstairs. Her health was stable, they said, but she'd stopped talking much, stopped arguing. Micah looked at me over his cereal. "Did you used to be scared too?" I didn't lie. Still am, sometimes. He nodded like that made sense, like it helped. Monday, 7:01 a.m. When he left for school, I watched him walk down the path. Head up, bag tight against his side. He didn't look back. The house felt less hollow. Later, I found a note tucked inside my coat pocket. His handwriting, a little jagged. I didn't want to hurt her. I just wanted her to hear me. I sat with that for a while, then folded it twice and kept it in my wallet. Tuesday, 6:33 p.m. I stood at the back porch, looking at the sky. That same balloon from his sketchbook lived there now, at least in my mind, still drifting, but slow. Not fleeing, just rising. Micah hadn't shouted, he hadn't cursed, he just spoke. And sometimes, when someone finally speaks after years of being silenced, the sound isn't loud, it's seismic.